Hi, this is your instructor Tim Rice again, and we are going to be discussing the rapid application development technique that we introduced in the previous podcast. As you can see, I have two windows open. I have my notepad with my JavaScript source code, and then I have my web browser showing the output from my program. Now, as we've discussed, the JavaScript is embedded inside of your HTML using script tags. And for rapid application development, we want to be able to quickly make changes to the code and see how they render in the browser. So as a quick example, we're going to modify our window prompt text. So as we can see in the code, the text is not consistent. The first prompt asks the user to enter the integer, and the second prompt asks the user what is the integer. We'd like to clean that up a little bit, and first let's watch how the program runs. So the first prompt says enter the first integer, and we say okay, and then the second prompt says what is the second integer, and we say what it is, and then we enter our operation. And so our calculator is working, but we want this prompt text to be more consistent. So what we can do, without closing our browser window or our text window, we can go ahead and make our code changes right in here. So we can make this say enter the second integer, and we can have the first prompt say enter the first integer, and now we have consistent prompt text. A simple change, but for the example that we're dealing with, this is what we are going to want to do. So now we're going to save using either the file save command, or you can just type Control S to quickly make a change. So let's go ahead and do it that way, the Control S keystroke. And then immediately we can go back over to the browser and refresh, and we can see now how the new prompt text is in there. We can enter our number, and the second prompt is consistent with the first one. And now we are we have successfully modified our code. Now we can continue to make changes and then test them using this simple two-step technique. Change the code and save it, then refresh the browser and display it. This will prevent you from getting confused by having too many text windows open or too many browser windows open if we just focus on keeping one of each open at all times and then toggling back and forth between the two as we need to. Next, in our next podcast, we'll talk in more detail about some of the logic in our program. Until then, happy coding.